Welcome back. Thank you for staying with CNN News 18, and we have some breaking news coming in. Russian President Vladimir Putin has praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He has said, and I quote, PM Modi's policy is a guarantee of deep relations between India and Russia. President Putin also said that relations between Russia and India are continuously developing in all the directions, and the main guarantee of this is the policy of Prime Minister Modi. In fact, he also added, and I quote, I cannot imagine that Modi can be intimidated, threatened or forced to take any action or decision against the national interest of India and the Indian people. Let's listen in.
First of all, let me say that the relations between Russia and India are consistently developing in all the areas, and the main guarantor for that is the policy led by Prime Minister Modi. His Excellency is one of the politicians of the global scale that I was talking about previously without giving the names. I cannot imagine His Excellency Modi getting intimidated or being forced to take any steps or actions that would go against the national interests of India and the people of India. And there is pressure against him, I am aware of that.
And CNN News 18's Abhishek Jha is joining us on this story. Abhishek, so Russian president has heaped praises on Prime Minister Modi, appreciating his policies.
Well, Prime Minister Modi's policies, especially on the international affairs, has been a subject of appreciation from the Western allies also, and of course the Russian allies who have been a strategic partner of Russia for a very long time. We have seen initially in the context of Russia-Ukraine war, initially we had seen that there was a clamping pressure on India to side along with the Western policies and condemn Russian action in Ukraine. However, India maintained its neutral stance. In the course of 1.5 years or so, we have also seen India's import of Russian crude has also increased tremendously, so much so that Russia has emerged as one of the key provider of crude oil to India. Right now, arms supplies and strategic partnerships is always there with the Russian side. At the same time, India has been able to balance its relations with the West. USA, we saw Prime Minister Modi was warmly welcomed at White House in the month of June, and since then India and USA has increased their partnership in a lot of sensitive and key technical issues and areas and new and emerging technologies. So the balancing act that Prime Minister Modi's leadership has given to India's foreign policy is something that is now being understood and appreciated by both sides of the globe, that is especially from the West, if you see European countries and USA, and the Russian side as well.
So Abhishek, what does this statement by the Russian president mean for the ties between the two nations?
Of course, we have seen India and Russia, they are bilaterally very strong nations. Recently, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar also said that the India-Russia relationship goes back to about 60 years of partnership, where Russia has stood by the Indian interest. Russia has stood by the India's security challenges, and they have supported India at the time when there was a pressure from the West, from the USA, and in fact, no major countries were supporting India. That started way back in 1971, and before that, we have seen Russia had helped India, expedite its industrialization during the early years of independence. And then in 71, when India was finding itself very much isolated because of the growing US pressure and the Chinese presence in the Indo-Pacific, and because of the Pakistan's tension with Pakistan, Russia was the only country which supported India diplomatically at the United Nations with arms and ammunition, and India happened to win that war. So that was a very pivotal moment in India-Russia relationship, and since then India's partnership with Russia has been going on consistently for a long time. And this has not disturbed, even in the wake of Russia-Ukraine conflict, when the world is clearly divided and India's interests with the Western powers have also come under stress. Now the thing is that India is importing a lot of oil, and now this imported oil, which is refined, a lot of it is supplied to the US and European nations. So this is the latest that India has been able to manage with all the differences that it has with the world bodies, but at the same time, the appreciation and the balancing act it has been able to maintain with West, with Russia, and with other countries.